Those of you familiar with my content might be aware of my love of cargo hauling. While it may be limited in variety, there is still a decent range of commodities available for the avid trader. And then there's the commodity that is moved in the shadows. Stanton's quiet and desired substance that there is never enough of. No, I'm not talking about slam, calm down, Vordy. I'm talking about meat. Whether it's the double dogs, the whammers, or the burritos, Stanton's need for fresh flesh is never ending. Oh, you thought it was beef? Do you see any cows around here, citizen? I didn't think so. So join me as I take you with me on a meat run, from collection to delivery. Citizens, my name's Beard of Oz, and today I'm running the meat wagon. It makes very little money, and indirectly at that, but it's a good bit of fun, especially with friends. Before I dive in, I just wanted to say thank you. I've been having a blast streaming on Twitch and posting what I hope are helpful shorts on YouTube, and the community engagement has been amazing. So if you enjoy this video, go ahead and give it a like, and if you want to see more content like this, subscribe to the channel and click the bell so that you'll be notified when my videos go live. If you'd like to support my content as well as my in real life love of hot dogs, I have memberships available for just $1, and I'll put a link to my Twitch channel in the description below. Alright, let's dive in. So 318 and its expansion of derelict sites and the totally not bugged and useless Ninetails on the surface have provided many a citizen with an easy bit of loot. But what we're after today is what's on the inside. So while the other citizens are out there making as much money as they can, whether it's selling slam, be sure to check out my illegal cargo guide here if you want to get on that high risk, high profit world yourself, or just grinding rep with the various security factions, I'm out here doing the thankless work of collecting the meat used in your double dogs, torpedo burritos, and whammers. Yes, even the vegetable ones. Sorry. And that's alright, I don't do it for the money, though if you wanted to send me some alpha aUEC in-game by way of thanks, feel free. No, I do it for the violence. Because if there's anyone that deserves to be ground up and put into arbitrary and digital food products that as of yet don't need to be expelled from our digital bodies, that's pooping by the way, it's the Ninetails gang. Those troublesome morons that can't even properly match armor tiers, and not to mention the fact that they all sound like one guy. So I've enlisted the aid of my good friend GameStranger, and for this particular run I've decided to run the Mesc Freelancer, a ship so outdated and in need of a gold pass the back ramp disappears when you're closer to the crew quarters, and as we'll discover later, lets our precious meaty cargo fall through the floor. I don't own a Mesc Freelancer, but you can rent one from the cargo deck of orbital stations such as Baijini. I had contemplated renting a Cutlass Black instead, but with the rumours still swirling of murderous chairs in the cockpit, I decided the antiquated silver dildo might be the safer option. Now, in 318, with the expansion of planetary nav mesh and AI on the ground, these mindless little Ninetails farms are rather easy to come by, but they aren't always a walk in the park. With persistent entity streaming and full glorious swing, the carcasses of pirate cutlasses and the ships of unfortunate citizens that attempted FPS gameplay on foot while the server tick rate was high have turned the area into a literal scrapyard, a great place to hull scrape if you own a Drake Vulture. If you're still on the fence about whether you want to fork over your hard-earned money for this ship, maybe check out my totally unbiased review on it here. I'll also put a link in the description below. If you aren't familiar with how to find these locations without a mission, you can generally find them as part of investigation missions that specifically mention a caterpillar, or the elimination missions that are made available once you've reached the second level reputation of a region's security faction. And so that's exactly what GameStranger and I have done. Giving GameStranger, who's only recently returned to the verse, an opportunity to reacquaint himself with the joy of obliterating mindless meat puppets, we get to work with collecting our commodity. After some near scrapes with falling debris and the realization that as I was stripping the bodies of their gear that we were losing cargo, assumedly out the phasing back door, we decided to cut our hunt short and head to Crusader. After arriving at our destination and meeting with our contact at Grimhex, let's call him Joe, we encountered our first problem. The elevators enjoy eating AI carcasses as much as they do citizens. Not wanting to let our hard work go to waste, I stash the bodies in the medical bay elevator and head over to meet Joe. Informing Joe of my elevator hurdle, he shares a delicious hot dog with me as we brainstorm a way to bring him all the fresh meat that he needs. The next day, GameStranger informs me that he isn't feeling too well. He thinks it might be something he ate and I'll have to complete the meat run solo. Not to worry, with a crew of 1, this calls for the best little starter ship in the verse, the Cutter. Be sure to check out yet another unbiased review on a Drake ship here, and yes, you guessed it, link in the description below. Normally, this daily driver has a slick coat of yellow paint and goes by the moniker the Slam Van, but seeing as the paint was lost in the soft ship reset of 23 and I'm a little bored of making bank on narcotic smuggling, today it's got the standard paint job and shall henceforth be dubbed the Meat Wagon. Taking the Meat Wagon out for a jaunt in ArcCorp, we get word of a group of useless Neanderthal thugs sporting snakes and nines on their armor. These are exactly the smooth-brained cattle that Joe wants for his delicious Double Dog Deluxe meals, and so off we go a-farmin'. Taking great care to keep as much steel between myself and the livestock, I use my Minsky laser cannons to tenderize the meat. Then, when all seems safe, I haul in my quarry. Opting for expediency over quantity, I make my way back to the Crusader region with Grimhex logged into the archaic and well overdue for an update StarMap system. Luckily, before leaving Grimhex, I did some investigating and found a section of the habitation blocks that had suffered some form of mishap, with the bulkheads becoming ruptured and exposing the section to the vacuum of space. Well, their misfortune was my gain, as now I had a zero gravity zero elevator option for getting into the station and deliver my cargo. Not wanting to stumble across some Ninetails grunt as he fumbled his way through a paint by numbers as I hauled his supposed friends through the corridors of Grimhex and have to use basic math to confuse his already addled mind with 2-syllable words, I stripped the harvest of their armor and any identifying insignia. Finally, I arrived at Grimhex and made my way to the side entrance, offloading the bodies and moving them through the abandoned section of the station and ultimately to their destination at the hot dog stand. Luck was on my side as I picked up some additional sources of protein in the form of unfortunate citizen corpses. We thank you for your delicious sacrifice, citizens. Upon arriving at the stand, I discovered that Joe 2 has run afoul of something he ate. No matter, his assistant Joe 2 was happy to accept the delivery of fresh supplies. And there you have it. Just a little something I did for fun while we all wait for 3.18.1 to hit those live servers. What random profitless tasks have you been engaging in Star Citizen? Let me know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate you letting me know by hitting that like button, and if you aren't already subscribed, consider doing so now, and hit the bell icon to be notified when my videos go live. As I mentioned at the start of the video, I also stream on Twitch. I'll leave the link to that in the description below, and memberships for the YouTube are available with badges and emotes, all for the low price point of $1. Have a look at some of these videos here. YouTube seems to think that you'll like this one, and as always, citizens, stay safe in the verse, and I'll catch you all next time.